late night was the first to go dark yesterday after the Writers Guild of America went on strike at 12:01 Tuesday morning. It's the first time the Guild has gone on strike since 2007, 2008. It was a work stoppage that lasted 100 days and cost the Los Angeles economy nearly $2.5 billion. There are quite a few issues at play here, but the writers' biggest gripe is what they're calling unfair pay practices stemming from that centralized network and cable TV model to what's gone on with the streaming services.
Yeah, the streaming part is what they're really fighting over, and what's happening there is that they're not getting paid for the residuals that are going to the streaming service. I mean, you got people out, writers out there who are getting like $7 checks for all the work that they put into, and they're basically saying, "Whoa, wait a minute, we've got to fix this because there are the streaming services and those who own the streaming services are using loopholes to not pay us what we feel like we should be owed," and that's what's led to where we are right now.
And it's not like Friends, which could be on reruns, or Seinfeld, kind of what feels like in perpetuity on affiliate stations on cable or on TV, where those writers continue to make money off of that. You get that limited series on Netflix and it just sits there forever.
Right.
And isn't going to run, I don't know, let's take Orange is the New Black, and if there's 50 episodes of that, they're not going to just run on a loop on late night on KOMU.
Yeah, well, I think that, this is it's a new model for, and I think for the way entertainment is being delivered, and I think the pay equity hasn't caught up, and so I think you have. And I think you see this, it's not just the writers in Los Angeles, but it's also, I think you're going to see this in professions across the board, people who are looking at what the CEOs are making, what the people in the C-suite are making as compared to what they make. And if you have people who are really making arguably one of the most important contributions, because none of those people can make their salaries if there's not the creative foundation for the entertainment. If they're getting on food stamp kind of salaries, what's the equity there? And but I think this is a larger social problem that we've seen in our country over the last couple of decades, is this really big separation between kind of the grunt workers on the assembly line and the people in the C-suites. There was always a salary difference, but I think the enormity of that difference has become so outrageous that it's infuriating people. And when people can't live and can't raise a family on their salaries, I mean, I worry about that with our own journalism students. I don't worry about Missouri School of Journalism students being able to get a job coming out of here. What I worry about is in 5 years, 10 years, when they want to get married and have a family and have a mortgage, are they going to be able to stay in a newsroom? And with the salary structure the way it is, that's very much in doubt.
Well, I mean, one of the things that you saw coming out of the pandemic was more and more workers unionizing, and once they unionize, they immediately start taking action. They either went on strike or they have work slowdowns and that sort of thing. And it all goes back to everything that you just pointed out. And and usually when we think union, we're thinking about blue collar workers. Mm-hmm. But many of the work stoppages and many of the work slowdowns have happened in white collar because of exactly what you said. They see, just as their blue collar colleagues saw firsthand, the inequities in who's getting paid and who's not getting paid, and you're also having issues of, we live in cities where housing is going up, where inflation is taking a hold, all those things, and pay has not kept up with that, and that's one of the things that's happened with the writers. I mean, the fact that they went from writing for shows and series that were 20 episodes mm-hmm. long to 10 to 12, mm-hmm. and they're being paid by the episode. And so they see the inequity in that. It's like you're making just as much. I mean, the studios are making just as much money, if not more, from the 8 episodes as they were making from the 20, but that doesn't flow down to the writers. And that's a big part of the problem that they're having with the negotiations right now.